God damn. Why? What's going on, Port fans? Today we're going to review the showdown from Saturday night, Port Adelaide versus Adelaide. So, to sum it up, Port Adelaide lost the showdown. Showdown 42. It was a good game. It was a great game. Unfortunately, we couldn't capitalise on some opportunities we had throughout the game. Most notably in the last quarter, where Sam Gray in the goal square could have kicked a goal to, I think, essentially tie us up. But, yeah, it didn't end up being. And it was just disappointing. And it still hurts thinking about it now. Alright, let's go through some key points from the game. First quarter, what a start. Port Adelaide were just sensational from the get-go. Our pressure, our attacking on the ball, it really rattled the Crows. And, Paddy Ryder in the middle, sensational in that first quarter. I think he had 23 hit-outs in the first quarter. He was on song early, all over Jacobs. They didn't quite pan out throughout the game. But what a start it was. Robbie Gray getting us off to a flying start. Charlie Dixon was brilliant in the first quarter. Even the Hoff was up and about, kicking a goal. But yeah, essentially, the whole game was summed up by our effort. Not us taking chances when we should have. A few missed opportunities, especially early. We should have kicked at least a few more goals in that first quarter, but unfortunately we wasted our opportunities going forward. Our midfield was fantastic the whole night, I thought, but just the Crows were just sometimes too quick. Their ball use was a little bit better than ours, so essentially it wasn't our night, but that's football, and we'll move on from it and hopefully build on that. But yeah, it's just tough to take. What other key points we can go through? Ollie Wines is elite. I personally think he's up there now as one of our best midfielders. He's an elite player. He's just always in there. He's a goal kicker. Disposals always around the 25 to 30 point mark. So he was amazing throughout the night. If Port won, he would have won the showdown medal. Simple as that. Aaron Young, a bit quiet. Well, very quiet actually. 5 disposals, no real impact. I think he hurt his shoulder early in the game, so that might have impacted him throughout the night. But essentially, to sum up the game, Port Adelaide, we're getting better. Crows set the standard, and we tried to match that. On occasions, we couldn't. But, it's a performance that we can't take too many, negatives away from, because from where we were to now, sensational. We had so many good passages of play throughout the night. Our attacking of the ball was sensational. Maybe contested possessions were a bit down. That might be an area to improve on. But essentially, we were outstanding. And it's a performance we should be proud of. And we move on to next week against GWS, where we can take the momentum that we have still running from beating Sydney and thrashing the Dockers and almost getting over the line a couple of nights ago, and maybe cause an upset and take us to 3-1 in Canberra. I just want to take this moment before we move on to the other part of our review. I just want to make a special mention to all Port fans. You are sensational. In time, Port Adelaide needed you. In times we needed to stand up. You came out in droves on Saturday night, setting the record attendance of, I think, 53,698. Can't remember if that's the exact number. But You came out in droves, setting a record attendance. You were loud, very loud, I must say. And at the moment, I walked away from that game and I was disappointed with the effort. Disappointed with the result from Port, but very proud to be a Port supporter for the way that, obviously the stuff that happened on the hill, that's all, they're all not the people. They're the people that obviously will hurt the reputation of every supporter. We all have them. All clubs have those types of supporters. But you know what? They're not the members. They're not the diehards that we are. Singing out our chants, singing out not giving in, singing our power song. And I tell you what, Never Tear Us Apart Saturday night, it almost brought a tear to my eye. And this is why. That was just a snippet of Never Tear Us Apart from Saturday night that I recorded. It was so beautiful to listen to. And, sure, we did not win. But I tell you what, it was a gallant effort from Port Adelaide. And, our team shows we're almost there. We're almost capable. And with all these big teams, all these dynamic teams that have always been on top, falling, the teams like Hawthorn, teams like Sydney, they're falling. And with our young group, we can still improve. Yes, definitely. But, we are very much a chance this year to make an impact. Time will tell, sure. But, yeah, back to the fans. It was sensational. And you should be very proud of yourselves. And well done to all. It was fantastic to be part of, no matter the result. It's just every goal was loud, even when we were down. It was just fantastic. And, yeah, sure, we had people leaving at the end of the game. But you know what? After the amount of hype, the amount of tension, the amount of aggression that was built throughout the week, to end up like that was a little bit disappointing. But Port fans, you should be very proud of yourselves. It was fantastic to be a part of, and hopefully that continues in Anzac, for Anzac round against Carlton in a couple of weeks' time on a Friday night. Things I learned. Let's speed this up because otherwise people are going to get bored and not watch this anymore. And I don't want that to happen, really, because you're a Port fan. You should keep watching. I'm only joking. Anyway, things I learned. Ollie Wines is a potential Brownlow medalist. And he's a contender for this year. If he keeps playing the way he has been playing throughout the year so far, he will be right up there. I have him penciled in for 7 votes. 3 against Sydney, 2 for last week against Freo, and 2 for the Showdown the other night. Just behind Rory Sloane for 3. He is just a bull. And I think the more, these chopping changing for the midfield that we have with Boak, Ebert, Powell, Pepper, Wingard coming through, Ollie is really thriving on that, and he is becoming a very, very potent player in the midfield, and I think he could be up there for the Brownlow for this year, so hopefully his form continues this week. The next one, we were down and out in that third quarter, 27 points down, and there was one person with a goal with I think about 7 or 8 minutes to go in that third quarter who stood up, and it was the skipper. Travis Boak, mate, you are in probably one of the best captains in the AFL, probably one of Port Adelaide's best captains in the AFL era. Every time we are down, you stand up and you bring the team with you, and you bring everyone with you. You're a leader that we want to follow. And if you ever get the chance to watch this, which you probably won't, because you're so busy. I mean, you're captain. But, yeah, you're a sensational player, a great bloke, and it's so good that our club is being led by you. Third, and finally, for the things I learnt from the Showdown, Crows fans are a classy bunch.
Oh, no.
I tell you what, they thrive on giving us the old bit of kick in the ass when we're down and out, when we're losing, and obviously we return it when we are beating you guys. But it was great to watch where I was sitting. There was a couple of Crows supporters sitting in front of me, and every time there was a Crows goal, you'd stand up and go, "Oh, come on. You've got to like that. He's brilliant, isn't he?" Piss off. Come on. Honestly. And there's this other flog in the front who's waving his flag about, turning around going, "Yeah." Come on. If you've been brought along with a friend, because I know you didn't get those seats by purchasing them, because I know there's people that sit there that I know come every week, so obviously they didn't go and they've given the ticket to you. Or otherwise you've just bought a general admission ticket and parked your ass right there and you don't give a stuff. But yeah, you know, I know a lot of Crow supporters in my life. Most of my family are Crow supporters. Most of my friends are Crow supporters. And you know what? You know, they very nice people and love them dearly. But there's always a few that ruin the reputation of others. And, you know, the couple that was sitting in front of me, well, not in front of me, but in the rows down, they just kept going up and going, "Yeah, you know, you got to applaud that for what?" I mean, there's no gain in that. You won. Take it. Give a bit of banter and walk off. Walk into the night. Because, you know, you're just a flog if you keep going. And, you know, anyway, that's a little rant that I had to do. Anyway, Crows fans, if you're watching, stay classy, alright? Let's move on to the votes. This video is going to go way too long. So this will be fun to edit too. Just because, I don't know, half the crap I've been talking about just is probably mumbling shit. So anyway, it's Showdown, so we just keep on talking because this will go on forever. Anyway, the votes, 1, 2, 3. Number 1, it was a toss-up between Brad Ebert and this bloke, but Darcy Byrne-Jones, this kid is sensational down back. He reminds me a little bit of Michael Wilson in the way he plays with his aggression, and just keeps attacking the ball. Doesn't have the speed, but Darcy, you're a sensational player, mate, and just keep up the good work. So 1 vote to him. 2 votes goes to the skipper. 2 votes. I just gave it away. 2 votes I'm giving to the skipper. He was sensational with I think about 26, 25 possessions and a goal. So he was stood up when it counted. He was great. 3 votes obviously goes to Ollie Wines. Sensational, a couple of goals. 30 odd possessions, I think. Close to anyway. And saved me in fantasy, which was great as well. So that's why he's getting 3 votes. Special mentions I'd like to give also to Tommy Jonas. Played brilliantly. Obviously had the hard task of getting Taylor Walker, and Taylor Walker got a couple of lucky goals, so he did well. Tom Cleary was sensational. Oh no, sorry, Jonas played on Betts, and Betts only kicked the 3, so and there were 2 in the first quarter, so well done Tommy Jonas. He kept him quiet pretty much for the rest of the game. Cleary played on Taylor Walker. Tough night for him, but he'll improve, and he did quite well throughout the game. Brad Ebert was sensational as well in the midfield, so good on to all those blokes, and hopefully they continue to improve for the rest of the year. That will end this review for today, Port fans. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. On to next week against the Giants. Another tough game, so hopefully we can produce a good effort and maybe secure a upset win. I know it'll be a tough week for us all because we know a lot of Crows fans, and they'll just keep going and going and going and going and going and going and going. So hopefully we end up producing an upset. Also, just a quick mention, the Portress podcast, I've officially become part of for the rest of this year. So every Wednesday night, join us on Port Fan Radio. Thank you very much to Matthew Sullivan and the crew at the Portress podcast for inviting me to join. It's exciting to join such a good podcast, and we'll give a little insight into the showdown and move on to next week against the Giants. So tune in then. I think around 8 o'clock we're on SA time, so tune in. Thank you very much for watching the video, and obviously my name's Anthony, and Khan the Pair.